Hey y'all, Luck from Fox 3 here, and I get asked a lot of questions about which PCs run DCS the best and which video card and all that good stuff. So what I've tried to do is put together a little video here about the build that I built just recently that runs my DCS servers and, well, not necessarily my servers, but my client when I run it. And I run Pimax VR, so it's good for VR. But I wanted to give everybody a chance to check it out because I didn't spend a ton of money on it, and I know there's a lot of argument out there whether you need like the highest end stuff or not. But here's what I built. So instead of building, top of the line everything, I kind of went with second because I figure I can get good performance with it without having to spend top dollar. Okay. So the philosophy behind my build is basically I'll dive into the components and I'll share my philosophy about it. A lot of people think you need to break the bank on the most expensive CPU for gaming, but here's the thing: DCS isn't actually really CPU intensive, unless you're doing like 3D printing, design work, or heavy programming, or other intensive tasks, videos and stuff like that. You don't necessarily need the top of the line processors that are out there right now. Instead, I focused on a budget, and what actually matters at DCS is fast RAM and a solid GPU and reliable components. So here's what I started with. On the processor, I went with a Ryzen 7 9800X3D. The reason I went with this is because it might seem like overkill, but I did say that having the best of the best is not the greatest thing to do. But this is not the best. It's kind of like the second to best. And the thing I like about it is the 3D series has V-caching technology, which gives excellent performance for gaming. And since I also create videos and run tests in multiple servers and things like that, I went ahead and splurged on a little bit more there. But you could probably go with a little bit less. For pure DCS, flying can absolutely save money and go with like a Ryzen 7 7700X or even a 7600X and still have great experience. For memory, now memory is one of those areas that DCS really thrives well on good speeds. So I went with 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 from Corsair Vengeance. DCS can be a big memory hog, especially high resolution textures, complex missions. The fast DDR speeds make a noticeable difference in loading and overall smoothness in the game. In the simulation, sorry. You could get away with 32 gigs, but if you're multitasking or maybe running SRS and Discord and streaming and all this other stuff, you probably want to run with 64 gigs to have a fair amount. I actually have my old machine. I actually have 128 gigs. I never came close to using it, but it was nice to have. Video card. Now this is a place that you can also save some money. The 5800s, I'm sorry, the 50 series are out. The 5080s, the 5090s. They're great cards. I'm not saying anything against them. But for the GPU I chose, I went with an MSI RTX 4080. This is a sweet spot for DCS right now. You'll get excellent, 1440p performance on a solid 4K plus. It'll push the VR, and I do use, like I said, Pimax Crystal Light and VR, and it works really really well. You could spend $3,000 or more on a 5090, but DCS especially, the 4080 delivers fantastic performance. Much more reliable pricing, around $1,500 to $1,800 right now. Storage is another place that DCS really requires some good speeds, and if you don't have an NVMe disk, I highly recommend getting one. SSDs are okay, but you really want the NVMe. And you definitely don't want spinner disks, no matter how big they are, how fast that you think they could be. They're never as fast as a SSD class or NVMe drive. So DCF modules take a ton of space, right? So the modules don't take so much space as the maps. The maps take a ton of space. You want fast loading time. So I went with the Samsung 990 Evo Plus. It's a 4 terabyte NVMe drive. Speeds up to 7250 megabytes a second. So that's pretty fast. There are faster ones out there, but you definitely want to have into the 7,000s if you can, megabytes per second, because you'll get much quicker loads. You'll spawn into your airplane quicker. There's a lot of really good reasons why you want to go with the higher speed disks. And I went with 4 terabytes. I actually have 2 of these. I have 8 terabytes because I do a lot of I have a lot of games and I do a lot of video content, and so I needed the space. But you could probably get by with a 2 terabyte drive. DCS will take nearly a terabyte if you have all the mods and maps, so keep that in mind. On the motherboard side, so I went with a MSI Mag X870 Tomahawk. Now this motherboard, the reason I liked it is because it's white. It has all the gaming stuff I need. It gives me, PCIe 5 for other GPU upgrades. It gives me DDR5 support. It gives me Wi-Fi 7, which I don't use. I don't use Wi-Fi at all. It gives me plenty of connectivity that I need, and solid foundation for what that for things that will not bottleneck your PC, like lots of ports and USB and all that good stuff. So and the thing I like about it is it's white. So I went with a white motherboard, a white case, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm older and I don't want to look into a black case and a black motherboard and I can't see squat and try to get a black screw into a little tiny black hole. It's impossible. So I went with white and I love it. And it's been a great motherboard so far. I built this over the summer, probably got it running late June, and it's still running great. Cooling and power. For cooling, I went with the MSI Mag Core Liquid E360. So it's also white. All that design, the rainbow colors and all this crap, I don't really care about it. I just want it to be cool. As long as it runs cool, then I'm happy. I used 360 millimeter radiator fans for quiet performance. It works like a champ. Also, the Corsair RM1000E power supply. It's a little bit of a overkill for what I need. It's a full 1000 megahertz, gigahertz, whatever you want to call this thing. It's big. I don't necessarily need that much. Seems like overkill, but it's 80 plus gold efficiency. It's fully modular, and it has really clean cable management. It gives me headroom for other upgrades and things I want to do down the road. Plus, it's quiet. That's one of the other things I like is quiet. For my case, I also went with a white case. This is a Leon Lee 011 Vision, and it looks great. It's easy to work with. It has great airflow. It has a top glass, and the top and side and 2 front and back are both all glass, so you can see right into this thing. It's really pretty. I'll put a picture up here in a little bit. And Leon Lee makes some really good stuff. I have to say, I'm really impressed with it. I'll just go why this build really works for DCS is, combination gives me smooth performance and at high settings, really fast load times, and the ability to run DCS alongside streaming software. And I use NVIDIA to stream, and so Discord, other applications that are running, you're flying single player. If you're flying single player or online or on campaigns or whatever, if you're on servers, Fox 3 server or whatever, you're always going to get good performance, and that's the thing. The fast RAM ensures smooth performance in complex missions. The RTX 480 drives beautiful graphics, and I really love the frame rates. You're not really there's arguments that the 50 series are going to be faster, but I really like this one for now. And for now, I'll keep it. Maybe down the road I'll get a 5098, but who knows? Budget alternatives. If budget is a concern, you could save money by going with Ryzen 7 7700X, 32 gigs of RAM instead of 64 gig, and then an RTX 4070. You'd still have great DCS performance. The key is prioritizing fast RAM and a solid GPU. The thing I like about the 4080 is the 16 gigs of RAM. The VRAM, the more VRAM you have, the faster it's going to be, and the less choppiness you're going to get down the road. So this build has really been fantastic for my PC, and I fly DCS whenever I can. It handles everything from Hornets complex system, the beautiful landscapes in Syria. It doesn't break a sweat. And if you're serious about DCS and you want to build, what'll serve you well for years to come, then this is how I I prefer. Anyway, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of other people out there running a lot of other stuff, and mine is not the super fast, gaming computer that you would see compared to other, people out there. But like I said, on a budget, I think I built this whole thing for $3,200, including the video card, and I'm pretty happy with it. And you know, the DCS is kind of an expensive hobby. We spent money on the computer. We spent money on the controls. I probably got $1,000 or more in controls. Hell, I have way more than that because I got the VR now. VR is another $1,000. So, I probably got another $2,000 in that kind of stuff, plus servers and modules and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of investment you make to get into it, and as long as you're getting the most out of it and not having to wait for things and everything works great, then that's the best way to go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'm happy to coach and help people out with this stuff because I really love the hardware side of things. Anyway, have a great one.